Dabu 7, and a heads up here for anyone that's going to Italy. And when I say that, well, you must have been jabbed if you're trying to take that trip. Sure enough, because you can't go to and from, enter Europe, most of the countries there, you go anywhere. You can't even go into Canada and come back into the United States right now unless you've been jabbed. Everybody realize this? I hope so. Well, if you do find yourself in Italy, and probably anywhere else around this totalitarian world here in the near future, you're going to see drones swooping in places like beaches, watching and observing people. In Italy, they are sending out drones to do just that, to check the temperature of people on the beach. And I'm telling you right now, it's doing way more than just that. So they're going to be hovering out over the water. And they say they're not going to be directly over people. They postponed the test flights that were planned for 5 hours, but they're going to go ahead and go forward with this. In Italy, in these areas, on their beaches, especially in Ostia, which is a suburb of Rome, you can expect to see this happening. I expect to see it all over. Anywhere that you see the totalitarian head, rearing up, yeah, these things are to follow. Until people make a stand, or unless you live in a place that's not allowing this. It's coming down to crunch time, folks. What happens when they weaponize these things even more? You won't catch me in Italy or anywhere. Well, why? Because I'm not getting the jab and being forced to bow down to the beast. What about you? We're also making plans. We're marching and we're riding. See you on the front lines.
Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kohalayim, La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak, double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the sincere Akim pushing this truth. Shalom to the Akim across the four corners that may appear like the other nations, but subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. This is Brother Yawasop out of GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. And basically, I came across that lesson by a video of Dabu 7, and basically it was talking about how they requiring proof that you're not sick. Well, requiring proof to actually enter a lot of different countries now, and I think America, or Babylon the Great, aka America, like that's like on the red zone of countries not to visit because of the infection rate, supposed for infection rate of this place. But I came across an article as well, so I'm gonna incorporate that article into this lesson. And the video says enough, because like I said, when you pay attention to it, they're letting you do these holidays like Memorial Day or whatnot, but they basically monitoring you. And then who's to say that shit, like I watch people that's part of the system break the law all the time. Who's to say that they, that's just like with the tests, that all the tests they got, or the vaccine. It's like the vaccine, well, it's all through the spirit. The vaccine that got recalled in Japan. You don't know what you dealing with for real. Just know that these people talking about trust me. So this is out of news break. It made me think of just one scripture, so hopefully this ain't long. It says proof of vaccination or negative test now required with the new EU recommendation to re-implement travel restrictions on Americans. Spain will require proof of vaccination or negative test taken within 72 hours prior to arrival to enter the country starting September 6th. So what's today? Shit, 4th was Saturday 5th. So that's tomorrow on that holiday. It says when Spain first reopened its borders earlier this summer, tests and vaccine proofs were mandated. However, travelers need to fill out a Spain travel health form which details your name, email, passport number, and flight details. After you presented with QR code that required a boarding and or arrival in Spain, with a QR code that's required at boarding and on arrival in Spain. Alternatively, the EU digital certificate is acceptable if you're coming from other EU countries. This new process is effective September 6th. Travelers must be fully vaccinated at least 14 days before arrival, show recent proof of test, recovery, exact length of time unclear yet, negative test, PCR test taken 72 hours of arrival, or antigen test taken 48 hours of arrival. Unvaccinated children under the age of 12 may accompany fully vaccinated adults. Which is funny to me to show you how simple people truly are. If this is such a super spreading disease, then that would mean that they would be more on the fact of not letting, why would you, if the kids, like they talking about right now, the kids are like, the numbers going up on the kids, but you're allowing unvaccinated people around vaccinated people. Then, like I said, just like they try to say that the unvaccinated people is why the spread is going up. So giving them the cause, like this shit is crazy. What is call her lawyer and like, how about shooting your shop? Because like I said, that's gonna be their justification when, they knew to go after them kids would have had people lightweight, marching on that White House again type stuff, and they ain't ready for that right exactly now. But like I said, if you got enough people that's goofy enough, gullible enough to get it, what I mean, it made me think about something because it's funny how Americans are known for being able to, they focus on what's going on with them and forget the other person. Don't get me wrong, there's been times that you've had, people literally, with food drives and yada yada yada, but that's no longer the case. You see that with the last, because you got these people that's behind the scenes that actually profit from that. Like remember the whole situation with the hurricane with who was that? I think that was it was Bush and Clinton. They had this fund. What I mean? Because that's an easy way to take money. You know what I mean? Like, but Salaki, I know I bounced around a little bit with that. The point of the matter is they're creating a scenario where they're basically you're gonna actually have to show proof of this to, and that's part of that image of the beast. You get what I'm saying? In Revelation chapter 13, because that's one of the things or the requirements of the society to keep. In order for you to get back normality to be able to participate in society, you're gonna have to prove this. That's an image of the beast. You know what I mean? And I agree with the elder that this is the precursor to that MOTB. And if you're gonna take that test or you're gonna take that jab and stab, you're gonna take that, you're gonna take the main thing that they're trying to get you to take. It's like that jab and stab is to acclimate your body to, that MOTB. We can explain details of how these requirements will come into play in the following days, such as details on whether the CDC card is accepted or if you need another method of verification. That's the spirit, because you made me think when I just was reading that, it popped up in my head about how they said that you had all these false vaccination cards. Is one guy named the Schuler King. He's a comedian on YouTube, and he did I guess he finds little things, YouTube videos or whatnot to do video, do comedy little thing when he'll speak on them, and it was a Edomite looking chick that literally got caught with these false vaccination cards. So, now that's the big thing in the news, these false cards. So, what would be your next step to actually prove? Because anybody can falsify a card, they'll say. I was reading an article where it was saying it was a doctor that was like a dentist or something that was basically filling out the exemption to qualify people to not have to take the stabbing jab. So, you know what I mean? So, and then he tried to make it seem like, well, any qualified medical professional could fill this out. A psychiatrist, a psychologist, you know. So, we're going to see where that's going to go. Ultimately, they want everybody to actually bow down to this system. So, eventually, it's not going to be exemptions. You know, I was watching the brother Bukar Moff trying to, you know, put it and explain the way where people will get it. Because you got certain people that's going to try and play the fence. You can't just be partly in, you know what I mean? You're going to have to be 10 toes in this. You know what I mean? Because it's not Esau or, you know, it's not the people that you see behind pushing this. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yashai behind all this. So it's spiritual. So it's going to be, when the scriptures say the hour of temptation, that's going to fall upon the whole earth. So everybody's going to be put in a position to be tempted to see what you're going to do. If you're going to hold your integrity like Job, or if you're going to fold like, I mean, like a nigga. But so that's enough. It made me think of one scripture. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, starting at verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Because it tells you in the book of Revelations that Yahweh Shah Mashiach is the spirit of prophecy. Um, you know, um, that's what this ministry is about. GMS is, Great Millstone is prophecy. You know, that's why people get upset about hearing the same things brought out multiple times. When you really go into the scriptures, you could understand that our people are a sadish, stupid, goofy. You know, they're not sadish, stupid. You know what I mean? Like they slow. You know what I mean? Not slow like that, but it's like they hard headed. You know what I mean? And you've seen that. You know what I mean? I swear. You know what I mean? It's like, there's certain people I've seen since I've been in the truth coming out, and like we just seen a guy at camp just yesterday. This guy, like I said, used to be with us at one location. Now he's with us at another location, and just as if like he stuck around, like as if like this is the first time he heard this. But the Most High know this ain't the first time he heard it. You just literally, like at one point he's growing his beard, then he starts shaving his beard. So it's something that you're trying to hold on to this wicked ass place. When you realize that they gonna be using drones to watch you, that's a police state in itself. The brother Bakar Moff was just speaking on that. You know, he showed a video about a female trying to go get groceries and literally got her ass whooped by men. You know what I mean? So just imagine when they start implementing and actually what's the word enforcing that everywhere, because that's coming here. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let the imagination is this new world order that the devil got set up. But it tells you in the book of Job that will not come to pass. It's going to implement it to a certain extent, but it's going to fail. Because it's not his will, it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah's will. Verse 4, it says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Verse 4, for all the faithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Salaki. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And all those that had their hand to the plow, that turn back, that look back, you know, it tells you that the kingdom, you're not meant for the kingdom. Jumping up. This is a book of, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Because you about to see, like book of Isaiah chapter 19 talks about Egyptian against Egyptian. You're going to have people that's against these mandates, this new world order that they're saying over, over the TV now. Like they said it in passing conversation. But yet still we were told we were crazy. For the sword and destruction shall draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And the prophecy is that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And you're seeing that now. So prophecies are speaking. Akim, if you are so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah or be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Racha, Kodash, Sparkatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwap and Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, and Mawaf Lababal. Shalom.